Yeah. So what we discussed in the previous class, guys?
Terraform.
Terraform, right? Yeah. So HC Corp developed by the Terraform, right? So what is the concept today? Terraform, Terraform installation and provisioning the infrastructure through Terraform. Okay. So installation and provisioning the infrastructure through Terraform. So what we discussed in the previous class, guys, we discussed about something like what is a Terraform. So who developed the Terraform? What is a .tf is the extension for Terraform? How to download it and how to apply the configurations into the providers, right? So we are discussing about this. So today we'll discuss about the um, how to create the Terraform infrastructure through code. So for this, step one, download the VS Code IDE. VS Code IDE. This is from Microsoft and Git. So if you install the Git bash will automatically install, guys. So Git bash and Terraform. What is it? So how to download the VS Code? VS Code download. How to download the VS Code? VS Code download. Guys, what is ID? Do you know what is ID? Guys, what is ID? So what is integrated development environment, guys?
Not sure, bro.
Hmm? Hello? Guys, please speak out. I think like, Siri knows, right?
So in this, we'll access and get the code from GitHub repository and deploy it to the local.
One second. Hey guys, what is ID? Siri, can you speak out now?
So in this, we'll get the repository um, cloned and we can deploy the code into the local environment.
Hmm. So technically it is a code editor. What this is?
Unit.
code editor. So before how we are editing the code, something like how you are creating, the developers are developing the code through initially Notepad, right? So later Notepad plus plus, then Eclipse IDE, right? So what is IDE? So if it is difficult in a notepad, right? So if you find out the errors while developing the code, it is difficult to figure out. So after later they created a notepad plus plus. So they integrated some tools, some functionality, something like a Java. So Java, something like how you are creating the code, main, open, close. If you miss the close, right, it will show the address. The same like a IDE is a developer for, so it's like a full feature IDE when add the right extension, something like if it is a .java, .terraform. So right, so it will be creating so something like when you create that VS Code, I will show you the VS Code. So this is looks like if you want to create a new file, what is the text file? Main.tf. So if I create the main.tf, um, something like I want to create a Terraform AWS bash 55 main.tf. Physical file, open folder, batch 55, select folder. Yeah. So in this folder, so you see guys, so when you create the .tf, you are seeing something that looks like a Terraform. This is a Terraform file. How it came? So there is a extension. So these extensions are they created the plugins. Plugins are related to something like is there any language? So they automatically give the if we create a uh, provider AWS. If you see guys, when I open the open braces, it automatically creates the close braces. Right, sir? It automatically close the braces. Something like they already created a features and installed in the plugin. Looks like a plugin. It will be easy to write the code. So for that purpose, IDE is developed. Guys understood?
Yes.
So something like it's a web development purpose, DevOps scripting purpose, something like guys understood? So not only VS Code, we have a number of IDs are there. So in this course, we are discussing about the VS Code only. Guys understood? Satish, Meghna,
Bro, yeah, yeah.
right?
But the
Yeah.
providers where we have to select in under extensions, sir.
Under extensions, um, extensions. So you need a Terraform, right? In the Terraform, you can select the Terraform. You can install the Terraform. So plugins will be installed when you install the plugins. The code, if you write the code, right, it will be easy to writing in the syntax wise. Okay, understood? Yeah,
Yes,
you
yes.
can download this from how to download the VS Code. So it's a freely available, guys. You can download the VS Code. So this is for Windows, right? So Windows. This is for Windows, right? Windows x86 CLI. It is directly downloading. Where is the copy link address? Yeah, copy link address. Yeah, VS Code download. So you can download VS Code and Git. So you can download the Git and Terraform, right? So Git download, you can download the Git by using same guys, Git download. There is also, it is set up for the Windows, Mac, Linux, right? So we are working on the Windows, right? Link copy address, you just download this and so Terraform. So where you can download the Terraform, there is a form. So where we can download, HTTPS colon double slash developer Terraform. So developer.hcorp.terraform. So install, right? If you click the install, it will shows. So you can install as a Mac or Windows or Linux, guys. So we are trying to install in Mac, right? So sorry, we are trying to install it in the Windows. Just copy link address. Is the Terraform, guys. So Terraform provides a binary file. No need to install. So right, so in each which format you need to install in the .exe. So once you install the .exe, it will it will install the binary files only. It will install the binary files. So Terraform no need to install anything. It's already provided the binary file. So you can use this binary file and install apply the Terraform. Use the Terraform. You guys understood? Yeah. So VS Code and Git, you just install the Git. You already know, right? Next, right? So Windows installation, it will be very easy. So industrial installation. So next, then finish. So once you done installation, everything. So once you click the VS Code, right? So it will open the VS Code, Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code. This is the Visual Studio Code IDE dashboard and Git bash. You can click the Git bash. Yeah, this is the Git bash. It will open. It will open this Git bash, guys. Okay, what is bash, guys? Guys, what is bash? Guys, what is bash?
In shell scripting, it is born again shell. Huh?
Yes,
What is that?
born again shell. So shell means so we can interact with the through shell. Same like as a Linux commands. So we can if you install the Git bash, you see, guys. So what this is a window, this is a bash, but this is a Windows mission. So if you see, when you execute the PWD is the Windows command or a Linux command, guys. It's a bash command, right? LS. But if you use the CMD is nothing but a command prompt. It's related to Windows. So when I'm trying to execute LS, is it working? PWD is working, not working. So when you install the bash, git bash, so you can execute the whatever the commands we are executing in the Linux, these commands we will execute in the bash also, git bash also. Yes, understood? Bash is nothing but a shell, right? Born again shell. The same like as a Linux. So if you want to create the directory, you can use mkdir. mkdir directory name. AWS with the batch, AWS with DevOps, batch web prepared. It will automatically create the folders directory, whatever CD. If you want to change the directory, you can use the same like as. So right. So that if you want to apply the changes on, you can, if you want to create the, if you want to use the Terraform and use, you can use it in the either command prompt way or a git bash. Okay. You see here. Yeah. So you see here. So here you use a terminal. So how you can run the apply the Terraform commands? You can use the Terraform. So Terraform init to Terraform plan, Terraform apply, Terraform destroy. These all are the CLI commands where you can execute these commands. So we can execute these commands either command prompt or PowerShell or git bash. Okay, you can run these commands either command prompt or PowerShell or git bash. You see, new terminal. Yeah, here you see this is the you can run this code either PowerShell or if you want to add git bash, you can use the git bash or you can use command prompt. Okay, so these are the ways we need to apply or initialize the git commands in the Terraform commands in command prompt or bash or PowerShell, or else you can directly run here also. So if you go to this directory, ls we created, right, cd desktop, cd desktop. Where is the desktop file? Cd documents. This is the path, right? Console driver, OneDrive, wd OneDrive, here desktop cd. What is the group I created, guys? 55 batch. So Terraform AWS 55, right? Yeah. So main.tf. If you want to apply the changes from here also, something like Terraform init, it will apply from here because of your code is in this directory, right? Yeah. I will show you this one also. So you can run on command prompt also. So md. So you can go to the directory directly. cd. You can go to this directly. This one. Sorry. dir. We can use this command here, dir. Main.tf. So you can apply Terraform init. If you see, guys, if you execute the Terraform command, you see, guys, it will show the main commands, right? Then, so the Terraform is working fine here also. So here also, let me try Terraform. You see here also, the commands are showing. Let's see here what this is. Git bash. Terraform. Yeah. So Terraform is working fine, guys. So how to download and where to keep it, I will show you. Yeah. For example, you downloaded the Terraform zip file, right? So once you downloaded the Terraform zip file, so go to the C directory and program files. What is that? Program files or program files? Program files. Exactly, the Terraform is installed. Mm. So here, so I downloaded the Terraform 1.6.6, the same like as a, yeah. So this is the, so which version now? Terraform 1.11.4 Windows. Okay, 1.4.11 Windows. Yeah, let me download this. I will show you how to install this. So before that, yeah, once you download this, right, guys, you can untar this file, uncompress, extract this file, and keep it here. Something like keep it here. So what it is? This is the a binary file. What this file, guys? This is the binary file. So this is the a binary file, guys. So once you download it, right, you keep it something like in the program files. So why we need to keep it in the program files? Because of, so if you execute the command, Terraform command on anywhere. So if you want to execute the Terraform command on anywhere, so something like where you are, Terraform AWS 55. I'm going one step back. So I'm executing the Terraform. I'm executing the Terraform wherever you are. If you want to execute the Terraform command, so wherever you are, so you need to keep it in the program files, Terraform, so in the program files. So once you set up the program files, you need to set the environment variables. You need to set the environment variables. In the setup the environment variables, click on the environment variables in the path. So in the path, you need to set the path where the Terraform is installed. The Terraform is installed in the C program files, Terraform 16. So something like same like as a new. So whatever the files you have, right? Yeah. So you can keep it. So the location will be keep it in here and set up in that environment variables. So once you set up the environment variables, so now you can execute that command anywhere. Now you can execute that command anyway. Yes, understood? The installation of a Terraform, VS Code and Git. So now, so you want to install the, you want to write the code. So how you can write? I already told you, right, guys? A stack. What is a stack, guys? Stack is nothing but a environment and code. The entire environment code. The entire infra environment code. So for example, what is that? A dev stack. What is that? So this is the dev stack, guys. The dev stack is nothing but the entire code, the entire, so development infra code will be available in the dev stack, guys. So dev stack. So for example, what are those? For example, what are those, guys? Tell me. So if you want to build the dev infrastructure, what we need, guys? We need a something like EC2 instances. Okay. So we need EC2 instances and RDS and S3 security groups, VPCs, right? RDS security group VPCs, Route 53. So Route 53 or else something like your EKS. So everything will be in the, so everything will be in the one stack. Everything will be in the one stack. So how they are developing their stack? Default, the Terraform default file will be in the main. What is the Terraform default file, guys? The default file is in the Terraform. So next to providers.tf. What is provider.tf? What is oceans.tf? So what is oceans.tf? 1 second. Is right. So what is providers? What is main.tf? What is provider.tf? And what is var.tf? Variables dot. So we can segregate the code and we can keep it in the main.tf, providers.tf, and versions.tf, variables.tf, or vars.tf. Okay. So what is versions? So what is version, guys? So version is looks like Terraform and AWS plugin version we need to keep it. So the Terraform and the what is provider, guys? What is the provider? Provider is AWS or Azure or GCP, etc. So these are the providers. So variables.tf. So in the variables.tf, we don't want to hard code the. So we don't want to hard code the data will be provided in the main.tf. For example, I want to provide the AWS region. So region will be declared in the vars. The region is EVS East East 1. So this is the so the hard coded values will be the declaration, the variables will be declared in the vars.tf, variables.tf. Guys, now you understood? So this is the stack, guys. So what it contains, if we create the stack, right? So this is dev stack. So this is QA stack, and this is the prod stack. Something like this is the dev stack, your dev stack, and this is our QA stack, and this is your prod stack, right? So the stack contains entire infra code. So something like what this is main.tf and provider.tf and oceans.tf and variables.tf, right? So if you develop this code, it will be easy to reuse it in the UA stack. It will be reused in the main prod stack, right, guys? So it will be easy to reuse this code. So once you develop that code, right, a small modifications with the smaller modifications, so we can use this code in the other stacks also, other environments also. So something like if you have any uh, added, if you want to add anything on this dev stack, it will be very easy to go through the code and uh, add multiple providers, add multiple resources into this stack. Guys, understood? Guys, understood?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The main.tf provider.tf version.tf we have to
Variables
create,
dot t.
right?
Sorry.
మనమే క్రియేట్ చేయాలి కదా.
So we need to create our ourselves only main.tf
Our
providers.tf.
main code in main okay. Main code is in main.tf.
So the variables will be declared in the
Not
variables.tf. The provider is nothing
variables.tf.
but a
Okay.
AWS, whatever it may
As
be. Versions
provider
is nothing but a
Azure.
which Terraform version we can use.
Okay. But
Okay.
whatever Terraform we installed,
Mm.
it only automatically takes, right?
It automatically.
మన టెరఫామ్ వర్షన్ ఏదైతే ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసామో అది తీసుకుంటుంది కదా డిఫాల్ట్ గా.
Yes, whatever the versions we installed. For example, what Terraform version I used? I used version, for example, 1.1.6, right? The latest version is 1.11.6 something. Okay. So I took the 1.1.16 only. Yeah, I will tell you guys. The Terraform starts from Terraform version starts from 11, 0.11. Okay. 0.11, the initial version, then 12, then 13, then 14. Later, they introduced the 1.0, 1.0, 1.0.x, 1, 2, 3, 4, the same like as 1.1.x. The current version of the Terraform is Terraform dot something like this one also x 11 dot 1.1.11, like 11.6. So the Terraform version is 1.0. So we need to use the code for the Terraform 1.0. So for example, so we are using the Terraform code from 0.11. So now I want to migrate it from 0.11 to 0.1. So then you can migrate from 0.11 to 12, 12 to 13, 13 to 14. So the 14 to 1. So this is the way I did the Terraform migration, guys. Did the Terraform migration from in my previous company from 12 to 13, 13 to 14, then 14 to 1.0. Okay. There might be a syntax changes, right? We need to align with the current syntax. For that, we changed, we aligned the Terraform code from 12 to 13, 13 to 14, 14 to 1. Okay. The
వర్షన్
steps
వర్షన్ కి కోడ్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంటుందా?
ఉంటది కదా.
ఆ,
మ్యాక్స్ కోడ్ ఉంటది, డిఫరెన్షియేట్ ఉంటది. Let's check what this is right. Yeah. So these all are the Terraform upgradation steps, guys. What we follow in the previous. Yeah. So we upgraded. So please find the below steps for Terraform upgradation. Upgrade TF stack from 0.12 to 13, 13 to 14, 14 to 1, I think. 14 to 1. So currently our TF stack is 0.12. So this is the upgradation step, guys. Okay. I will keep it in that repository, GitHub repository. If you guys want to, so in your company want to upgrade the Terraform, you guys can follow these steps and upgrade it. Okay. Guys, understood? Yeah. So yeah, first, how you can write your Terraform file. Now you understood, right? How to set up the Terraform. Now you want to write the Terraform file. So don't bother about it, guys. HashiCorp provided the documentation. The documentation is registry.terraform.io. So what is that? So if you go to the registry.terraform.io, browse providers. So for that we are building the infra through AWS, right? Yeah. The provider is So this is the provider, guys. What is this? So this is the provider. So provider equal to AWS and version. If you use the version we can use the Terraform 1.0. I will tell you that part. Okay. So documentation. So what is the plugin we need to install that for the tagging? So we need to install the plugin for 5.95.0. So why this? I will tell you. So if you want to connect with from Terraform to AWS, right? So we need a plugin which is provided by the Terraform. Okay. So how you can write this Terraform language, HCL language. So the Terraform is developed through Go language, guys. Which language? Go language. Okay. So go to the provider and the documentation. If you click the documentation, you want to try to create a AWS EC2 instance. AWS EC2 instance. So instance is nothing but a service, guys. What it is? So instance is nothing but a service. Download some. Yeah, guys. So what we need? We need a TF file through the Terraform installation. So we can create the EC2 instances. So we can create the EC2 instance. So for this, so what we need, just to download it, will download the binary file and use it. Setting up the AWS, you already created the first Terraform. So how you can create the launch first Terraform? If you want to launch the resource in AWS, there are three important considerations. One is how will you authenticate with the AWS? How will you authenticate with the AWS, guys? So how we are authenticated with the AWS?
With secret key and access key.
Yes, very good. Secret key and
Yeah.
access key. So which region the resources need to be launched? Which region? So for example, the default region is North Virginia. So which resources you want to launch? Which resources, guys? So for example, AWS. So this is the code, guys. So first we need to provide in the provider equal to AWS. In the provider, we need to specify the region, access key and secret key. In the provider, so we will provide the region, access key and secret key. So this is the provider and which resource? A resource is nothing but a service. So AWS underscore instance is the resource. AWS underscore S3 is the resource. AWS underscore VPC is the resources. So this is the resource name. So what we need to provide? We need to provide the AMI and the instance type in the instance type, guys. So instance type. So important to learning. Each provider has resources divided into multiple categories. What is that? Each provider has resources. What these are resources? AWS underscore instance, AWS underscore S3. These are the resources divided into multiple categories. Resources require certain set of arguments based on the use cases. Providers and resources. Terraform
So they
supports
are
multiple.
so they are called resources in Terraform and services in AWS, right?
Yes. Okay. So Terraform supports multiple providers depending upon what type of infrastructure we want to launch. So we have to use the appropriate providers accordingly. Right. So how you can initialize your Terraform in it. Once you initialize, right, it will install the plugin. So which resource you want to install? For example, EC2. So resources are the reference to the individual services. What is that, guys? Guys,
Like
guys understood?
S3, EC2 are related
Uh,
to AWS, right? That's we called it as resources. Mhm.
resource. So resources are the references to the individual services, which the provider has to offer. The resources, for example, AWS underscore instance, ALB, IAM user. So all these resources. Okay. So how we can define the resource and the resource name and a provided resource name. So what we will provide the something like optional required. So in the resource block, so we need to provide the some required options and optional means. So we will not provide the options, right? I will show you that things. Yeah. So for example, So AWS provider. How you can create the provider? This is the Terraform. So this is the provider. So this is the versions block and provider block. This is the provider. This is the provider and this is the versions. Okay. Mm, so authentication and configuration. Authentication and configuration will be there are so configuration for AWS provider can be derived from several sources. So which are applied in the following order. Parameters in the provider configuration, environment variables, shared credential files, shared configuration files, container credentials, instance profile credential, and region. Right? Yeah. So in the provider configuration, what we will provide? We will provide the access key and secret key for accessing the AWS. Right? So environment variables. So in the environment variables also we can set. You can use the command prompt or bash. So we can export the credentials also. We no need to create in the, we no need to provide it in the provider block also. So you can use the environment variables also. Okay. Shared configuration or a credential. So we can share the configurations or credentials in the slash home dot AWS. In the credentials also we can provide it. In the credentials also so we can provide the configuration files. So here same like as provider AWS, the configuration files. And the container credentials, we can give the container credentials way. And IAM roles also, we can provide it in the IAM roles, assuming IAM roles. And assuming IAM roles using the web identity, we can use this way also. We can use the external credential process also. This is the way we can use the credentials. Okay. Yeah. So argument references. So what are the argument references? The arguments are something like a instance. Here you see what it is. So something like in the AWS provider resource equal to AWS underscore VPC. So in that VPC you provided the CIDR block or something like in the EC2 instance. In Elasticsearch EC2 AWS underscore EC2. EC2 EC2 EC2. Code. You see EC2 AWS underscore instance, right? AWS underscore instance. So in the AWS underscore instance, so you are providing the AMI and instance type. Some of them are optional, some of them are required. So we need to provide the required and the optional. So argument reference, you see, AMI is optional. Okay. Associate public IP address is optional. Availability zone is optional. So these all are the optionals. You see required ones. You see all these are optionals. Optional, 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 optional. This is also optional, optional. If it is specifying required, in the brackets, it's specifying the required. Yeah, you see guys. So when you use the network interfaces, definitely we need to provide this required argument. So this is also required argument. Understood. So few of them are required, few of them are optional. So if you want to use this resource, right, definitely the required options need to specify. The required options need to specify. Understood, right? Yeah. So now we are creating initially I will create the TC2 instance without is the EC2 instance, right? Yeah, I'm taking this one, guys. AWS instance with parameters. Okay. Main.f or whatever it may be, AWS providers. So this is the resource and this is the provider, right? AWS provider. I will take that one also, guys. Provider, use provider, AWS provider equal to, yeah. So configuration options. So what we need to specify, we need to specify the region. So what we need to specify, guys? So we need to specify the what we need to specify. So we need to specify the region, access key and secret key and AMI instance type. What is that? AMI and instance type. So what you need, guys? Region equal to US, US East 1. Region equal to US East 1. Sorry. Region equal to US East 1. So region equal to US East 1. Next, access key and secret key. What you need? You need a access key and secret key, right? And AMI and instance type also. So we need to provide the AMI and instance type. Secret key and access key, we need to write it, right? So if you set up, we already set up the access key secret key in the, I downloaded somewhere, guys. I'm searching for that. Access key and secret key. So what is the username, guys, we created? Blujay Tech only, right?
This is correct.
Correct only, right? Yeah, let me take this one. Access key equal to, what is that key? This is the access key, right? Access key, secret key, right? Secret key equal to, this is the secret key. Yeah. So in the provider, I created only one file. This is something like I'm renaming it as a myec2 dot here. What this is, guys? So this is a AWS provider equal to AWS, region equal to US East 1, access key, secret key. access key and secret key. The same like as right region. So the providers region, access key underscore secret key, then resources. So instance. So AMI, we are providing the AMI guys. We need to provide the AMI and we need to provide the T2 micro. Now instance type is T2 micro and the AMI will take the AMI guys. AWS install console. That AMIs are unique identifiers, right? So we cannot use the same AMI in the different regions. The AMIs are different in region to region also. The AMIs are different from region to region. We need to provide the MFA also, right? MFA 106643. 06737. Oh yeah. 460471. Yeah. EC2. Instances. Terminated. AMIs. What this is? United States, not Virginia. Okay. So if you go to the AMIs or launch instances, you need to select the AMI, right? So which AMI you want to take? Want to take the Amazon Linux 2. What is that? So Amazon Linux 2. This is the AMI is a unique queue and it is different from region to region. So I'm taking this. Yeah. I provided the all these things. The provider equal to AWS. So region equal to US East 1, access key and secret key. And this is the resource block for the AWS instance. Okay, I'm saving this. Save. Next, I want to use the terminal, new terminal. So what I am? It is a PowerShell. You need a bash or something like a CMD. Clear. So I'm taking the bash one. Yeah. So this is the bash prompt, guys. So what it? So you see, my ec2.tf. So it is not created. So nothing is created. C users RE desktop, right? OneDrive desktop. Terraform AWS 52. So you see, so only my first ec2.tf is created. My first duty is that TF is created. I'm doing the Terraform init. What is that, guys? Terraform init. I'm executing the Terraform init. So what is the Terraform init? So Terraform init is to initialize the Terraform init is to initialize the so it is navigating to the directory containing a Terraform configuration files and run Terraform init command. So it will initialize it. Let's see. So it will connect to the AWS. Installation is nothing but a so with the plugin. So this is the plugin we installed and connecting from installing the HashiCorp AWS plugin software. So once you install the plugin software, right, you can authenticate with through Terraform this AWS plugin. See guys, Terraform has successfully initialized. Let's see. You see, so once you install the Terraform, a .terraform folder is created. So in that .terraform, there is a providers. In the providers, registered a Terraform driver, HashiCorp, the HashiCorp IO. So AWS is the provider, 5.9525 Indy for AGM. So this Terraform provider is installed while running the Terraform installation. So Terraform installation is successfully installed. So next, Terraform plan. What is that? So Terraform plan. So Terraform plan is nothing but a. So what is a Terraform plan? So preview the resources. It will preview the resources. Whatever the resources are applying, these resources will be previewing. You see, guys. So Terraform plan. Terraform user to select the providers to generate the following execution. Resource action is indicated with the following symbols. What it will indicating? It will indicating the creating the infra. The Terraform will be performing the following actions. AWS underscore instance dot web will be created. So this is the resource. This is the name. So this will be created. Okay. So what we provided, these all are options. So we provided only AMI and we provided only, guys, tell me AMI and that instance. All are applying by default. You see, guys, here plan 0 to add, 1 to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy. Destroy is nothing but it will destroy. So changing is nothing but if you modify anything in this Terraform, we can apply, right? It will be showing changing. So adding is nothing but a new addition is nothing but a adding, right? So I want to apply this. You can use the apply. What is that? So Terraform apply command. Yeah. So it is asking the yes or no because of so if you run the Terraform apply, right? So so do you want a Terraform? Do you want to provision these infra through Terraform or not? It will ask, guys. So it will ask. So nothing is there. All are terminated. Let's see. I'm giving the yes option. So instance web is creating. Let's see if the instance web is creating or no. Yes, yes. Hello world. So the web is running, initializing. Yes, yes. So instance is creating, instance web still creating. So completes after 16 seconds. Within 16 seconds, the installation is completed. Apply complete, resources one added, zero change, zero test right. Guys, now you understood? So how you are creating your infra in AWS. So guys, how you are creating your AWS infra through
Terraform.
guys through Terraform. So without manual intervention. So if you will click so in one click it will create the infra, right guys? Okay. So it's understood?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
very
have
good.
I have few questions, but I need to go through this class again
Yes,
because
yes, yes. Yeah,
new
Terraform
concepts.
state. So log file is nothing but so for example, so Satish is running the Terraform apply on from their end, right? Again, Sirisha also trying to do the Terraform apply, right? Magna also simultaneously they are trying to do the Terraform apply on the same stack, right? So whenever it starts, at Satish is starting, so then it will lock the Terraform. So until his apply complete, until his apply complete, there is a Terraform log file is created. So it will not allowing to the other people to apply same time. Okay. And so whatever the resources, Terraform state is the most important guide. The state is nothing but a whatever the changes we applied through the Terraform. So say that will be the whatever the changes that applied in the Terraform, it will be stored in the Terraform state, you guys. So this is the AMI. So this is the AR and there's the CPU limit. So okay, IP address. So public IP address, that storage, everything will be created under this Terraform state, guys. So in the real time, this Terraform state will be stored under the S3 bucket, and having the permissions. No one cannot delete this because of. So if you have any issues with your infra, so it will be restoring from this Terraform state, guys. It will be restoring from this Terraform state. Guys, understood? Guys, so Terraform maintains a state file that tracks the current state of your infrastructure. This state file helps the Terraform understand the differences between derived state and actual state of your infrastructure, enabling it to make informed decisions when you apply the changes. Guys, understood? Yeah, we'll continue from tomorrow, guys. I will upload this recording after converting. Okay?
Okay.
Understood, right? What is resource? So resource is nothing but a service in AWS. Okay?
Okay.
Yep, thank you, guys. Is it easy or not, guys?
No,
The
no,
creation of EC2.
no. It's like easy only, but I did not understand the steps correctly. సో ఎప్పుడు ఏది ఎలా వాడారని తెలియదు, అర్థం కాలేదు. కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే ఈ టెరఫామ్ అనేది రిసోర్స్ అంటారు, అక్కడ సర్వీస్ అంటారు. సర్వీసెస్ క్రియేట్ చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేస్తాము. ప్లస్ మనం ఫస్ట్ ప్రొవైడర్, AWS అయితే అజూర్ అయితే ప్రొవైడర్లో అది మెన్షన్ చేయాలి. ఏ రీజియన్లో మనం క్రియేట్ చేయబోతున్నామో మెన్షన్ చేయాలి. సో ఎవరు క్రియేట్ చేయబోతున్నారో వాళ్ళ యాక్సెస్ కి సీక్రెట్ కి మెన్షన్ చేయాలి. ఇది మాత్రం క్లియర్ అయిపోయింది. ఏ రిసోర్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నామో అది అక్కడ కింద రాశారు. EC2 ఇన్స్టెన్సెస్ కాబట్టి EC2 ఇన్స్టెన్స్ కి ఏమై ఉంటుంది కదా, అమెజాన్ మిషన్ ఇమేజ్ మెన్షన్ చేశారు. అది T2 ఎంత అని అది మెన్షన్ చేశారు. ఈ ట్యాగ్స్ అంటే
ఇప్పుడు నేమ్ హలో వరల్డ్ అని పడ్డది కదా మన ఇన్స్టాన్స్ నేమ్. ట్యాగ్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ దిస్.
ఒక ఇన్స్టెన్స్ నేమ్ అది, రైట్, అర్థమైంది. ఓకే,
So if
ఇది
you want to-
main.tf లో, ఇది main.tf లో పెట్టాలి. main.tf లో పెట్టి టెరాఫార్మ్ ఇనిట్ అని కొట్టారా?
అవును, టెరాఫార్మ్ ఇనిట్ అంటే ఇన్స్టలేషన్ అంటే
ఎక్కడ కొట్టారు?
authentication first.
ఎక్కడ చేశారు అది టెరాఫార్మ్ లో? అది టెరాఫార్మ్
ఈ ఫైల్ అయితే ఎక్కడైతే ఉందో, మన టెరాఫార్మ్ కోడ్ ఎక్కడైతే ఉందో అక్కడ మనం అప్లై చేస్తాం.
ఓకే, అంటే టెరాఫార్మ్ మనం ఎక్కడ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసామో అక్కడ నుండి రన్ చేస్తాం.
ఇన్స్టాల్ కాదు, ఇన్స్టాల్ అనేది అదే నేను అదే చెప్పా కదా. సో దెర్ ఇస్ నో ఇన్స్టలేషన్, జస్ట్
ఓహో, మీరు అక్కడ యాడ్ చేశారు కదా, అక్కడ మన ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఫైల్స్ లో యాడ్ చేస్తే
ప్రోగ్రామ్
ఎక్కడ
ఫైల్స్
నుండి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయొచ్చు అన్నారు.
ఎందుకు యాక్ట్ చేసేది అంటే వెన్ ఎవర్ యూ వాంట్ యూ కెన్ రన్ ద టెరాఫార్మ్ కమాండ్ వేర్ ఎవర్ యూ వాంట్
ఫ్రమ్ ఎనీవేర్.
ఫ్రమ్ ఎనీవేర్. సో దాని తర్వాత సో ఎక్కడైతే కోడ్ ఉందో అక్కడే టెరాఫార్మ్ యూనిట్ టు టెరాఫార్మ్ ప్లాన్ టెరాఫార్మ్ అప్లై చేయాలి.
ఓకే, చేయగానే ప్యాకెట్ క్రియేట్ అయిపోయింది.
ఏంటిది?
చేయగానే క్రియేట్ అయిపోయింది కన్సోల్.
క్రియేట్ అయిపోయింది. సో
అంటే
లాక్ అయింది. లాక్ అయిన తర్వాత టెరాఫార్మ్ స్టేట్ ఏదైతే మనం కాన్ఫిగర్ చేసామో అది మొత్తం టెరాఫార్మ్ స్టేట్ లో ఉండిపోయింది.
ఓకే, మనం terraform.tf ఫైల్ అనేది ఒకటే క్రియేట్ చేసాం కదా, అయితే ఒకసారి రన్ చేయగానే ఈ ఫైల్స్ క్రియేట్ అయ్యాయా?
ఈ ఫైల్స్ క్రియేట్ అయ్యాయి. ఎందుకు అంటే అథెంటికేట్ అవ్వాలి కదా త్రూ AWS యాక్సెస్ కి సీక్రెట్ కి టెరాఫార్మ్ ద్వారా.
అవును,
ఎలా అథెంటికేట్ అంటే ప్లగ్ఇన్ ఉందన్నమాట. ఆ ప్లగ్ఇన్ టెరాఫార్మ్ ప్రొవైడర్స్. సో ఆ ప్రొవైడర్స్ లో రీసోర్సెస్
అది క్రియేట్. ఓకే, అది ఒకటి. ఇంకా రెండు వేరేవి HCL ఫైల్ అంటే
ఏది?
లెఫ్ట్ లో
ఇదే లాక్ ఫైల్ టెరాఫార్మ్ లాక్ అయిపోతుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీ ముగ్గురు సిరి, మేఘ్నా, సతీష్ వాంట్స్ అప్లై ద సేమ్ టెరాఫార్మ్ అప్లై ఆన్ ద సేమ్ స్టాక్. డెవ్ స్టాక్ లో ఒకేసారి apply చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాం.
అంటే ఆల్రెడీ క్రియేట్ చేయబడిన ఇన్స్టెన్స్ లో చేంజెస్ చేయడమా మీరు అనేది? మేము ముగ్గురం ఒకసారి చేసేది, లేకపోతే కొత్తగా
అవును,
create
ఇది
చేయడమా?
ఆల్రెడీ క్రియేట్ అయింది. ఇప్పుడు నువ్వేమో కౌంట్ 2 అని పెడుతున్నావు. సేమ్ కౌంట్ 2 అని మేఘ్నా పెట్టింది, సిరి కూడా సేమ్ కౌంట్ 2 అని పెట్టింది. ఆర్ ఎల్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ వాట్ ఏదో యాడ్ చేశారు వాళ్ళు, విపిసిఓ సెక్యూరిటీ గ్రూప్
అవునవును. ఉన్నదాన్ని ఎడిట్ చేశారు. సెక్యూరిటీ గ్రూప్ మార్చారు
ఎడ్జ్
అనుకుందాం.
మార్చి వాళ్ళు ఎడిట్ చేద్దాం అనుకో. నువ్వు ఆల్రెడీ రన్ చేస్తున్నావు, నువ్వు రన్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళు రన్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్ అవుతుంది, అవునా?
అవునవును. అవును.
సో అలా కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్ కాకుండా, అలా రన్ అవ్వకుండా లాగ్ ఫైల్ అనేది నీవు అప్లై చేసిన కాడ నుంచి నువ్వు రిలీజ్ చేసే వరకు వేరే వాళ్ళది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వదు.
కానీ
దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఏ లాగ్.
నేను ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇది మీరు క్రియేట్ చేశారు. కౌంట్ 2 అంటే రెండు ఇన్స్టెన్స్ క్రియేట్ అవుతాయా?
అవును, అంతే కదా.
విత్ సేమ్ నేమా? ట్యాగ్స్
సేమ్
మరి
నేమ్,
ఎలా వరల్డ్ అని పెట్టారు. సేమ్
అది
నేమా?
సేమ్ నేమ్, సేమ్ నేమ్,
సేమ్ నేమ్ కానీ ఐడి డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంటుందేమో. ఓకే. అయితే
ఐడి
ఇది
డిఫరెన్స్.
ఇది మీ సిస్టమ్ నుండి మీరు క్రియేట్ చేశారు, లాక్ అయిపోయింది. ఇప్పుడు నేనేం చేశానంటే, ఇప్పుడు
ఉమ్,
నేను క్రియేట్ చేయబోతున్నా. నేను క్రియేట్ చేయబోతున్నట్టు దానికి ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది? ఎందుకంటే లాక్ మీ దగ్గరే అయిపోయింది కదా, మీ సిస్టంలోనే కదా అయింది లాక్. ఇప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు మీరు క్రియేట్ చేశారు, T2 డాట్ మైక్రో అని పెట్టారు, కౌంట్ 2 అని పెట్టారు, కౌంట్ 3గా మీరు మార్చబోతున్నారు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆల్రెడీ క్రియేట్ అయిన దానికి మార్చబోతున్నారు. మీరు మార్చబోతున్నారు అని నాకు తెలియదు కదా. ఇప్పుడు నేను కూడా సేమ్ కన్సోల్కి యాక్సెస్ అవుతున్నాను. ఇక్కడ కన్సోల్ డీటెయిల్స్ కూడా లేదు కదా. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏంటంటే కన్సోల్ డీటెయిల్స్ కూడా లేవు కదా. ఇక్కడ ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ అని ఇచ్చారు, రీజియన్ ఇచ్చారు, యాక్సెస్కి సీక్రెట్కి ఇచ్చారు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను కూడా ఒక యాక్సెస్కి సీక్రెట్కి క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్నాను. కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఎన్నో కొన్ని థౌజండ్స్ ఆఫ్ కన్సోల్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఏ కన్సోల్కి ఏదైనా ఐడి ఉంటుందా?
కన్సోల్ కి ఏమీ ఐడి ఉండదు, విత్ ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ యాక్సెస్ కి, సీక్రెట్ కి, రీజియన్.
అంటే
నువ్వు ఆ రీజియన్ లో ఆల్రెడీ
సీక్రెట్
అప్లై ఏదో
కీలోనే ఆ
జరుగుతుంది.
కన్సోల్ డీటెయిల్స్, ఆ యాక్సెస్ కి సీక్రెట్ కీలోనే కొంచెం ఏదో ఆ కన్సోల్ కి సంబంధించింది పలానా కన్సోల్ అని ఉంటుందా?
అవునవును, ఉంటది.
ఓకే, రైట్. సరే, ఇప్పుడు యాక్సెస్ కీతో సీక్రెట్
సేమ్
కీతో
యాక్సెస్
నేను
కి,
కూడా సేమ్
రీజియన్ తో
కన్సోల్.
నువ్వు అప్లై చేస్తే కంపల్సరీ నీకు అలౌ చేయదు.
అంటే ఇక్కడ యాక్సెస్ కి సీక్రెట్ కి డిఫరెంట్ ఉంటుంది కదా. మీకు నాకు
ఎవరిది?
మీకు నాకు యాక్సెస్ కి, ఇప్పుడు సీక్రెట్ కి సేమ్ కన్సోల్ కి మీకు నాకు డిఫరెంట్ ఉంటుంది కదా కీస్.
టెరాఫామ్ ఇన్ఫ్రా బిల్డ్ చేసేటప్పుడు వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఒక టీమ్ కదా, వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ సేమ్ యాక్సెస్ కి, సీక్రెట్ కి.
కాకపోతే మరి నేను డిఫరెంట్ కదా. ఇప్పుడు మీరు యూజర్, మీరు హరి అని ఉంది, బ్లూజే అని ఉంది, నా సతీష్ అని ఉంది. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఐఏఎం యూజర్, నాకు డిఫరెంట్ యూజర్ వస్తుంది కదా. నేను ఇప్పుడు నేను
రోల్
లాగిన్
ద్వారా
అవ్వాలనుకుంటే.
అవునవును, ఎస్ఎస్ఓ ద్వారా కనెక్ట్ అవుతావు. అక్కడ నుంచి నువ్వు అప్లై చేసే టెరాఫామ్ యూజర్ అనేది నీది కాదు. ఇప్పుడు సతీష్ యూజరు, హరి యూజరు, సిరి యూజర్ కాదు. జస్ట్
అందరికి
నువ్వు
ఒకటే ఉంటుందా?
అది వేరే ఉంటుంది.
వచ్చా, ఓకే. అంటే ఇప్పుడు టెరాఫామ్ మనం ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ బిల్డ్ చేయాలంటే మనం వాడేది ఐఏఎం యూజర్, నేను వాడే ఐఏఎం యూజర్ కాదా? అంటే
నువ్వు వాడే ఏం యూజర్ తో కనెక్ట్ చేయలేవు.
ఓకే, అందరికి కలిసి ఒకటి ఉంటుంది అన్నమాట.
కామన్ ఉంటది, లేకపోతే అందరూ ట్రై చేస్తారు కదా.
ఓకే, ఓకే అయితే, ఓకే అయితే ఆ కామన్ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి మీరు క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు సరే ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీకు నాకు కామన్ ఉంది అనుకున్నాం యాక్సెస్కి, సీక్రెట్కి. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఏంటంటే ఇందులో ఎడిట్ చేయబోతున్నారు, ఇదేంటి మన కీ పేరో లేకపోతే సెక్యూరిటీ గ్రూప్ యాడ్ చేయబోతున్నారు. మీరు యాడ్ చేయబోతున్నారు అని నాకు ఎలా లాక్ అవుతుంది? అది ఎక్కడ లాక్ అవుతుంది? ఇక్కడ విఎస్ కోడ్లో లాక్ అవుతుందా, టెరాఫామ్ బ్యాక్ ఎండ్లో లాక్ అవుతుందా?
అదే టెరాఫామ్ విఎస్ కోడ్ జస్ట్ చూపిస్తుంది అంతే. సో టెరాఫామ్ బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ లో నీకు చూపిస్తుంది. సో రేపు మన ఇద్దరం ఒకేసారి అప్లై చేద్దాం,
ఓకే,
అప్పుడు
రైట్.
నీకు ఏం కనిపించదు అనేది తెలుస్తుంది.
యా షూర్ ఓకే.
సేమ్ యాక్సెస్ కి, సీక్రెట్ కి యూజ్ చేసుకోండి.
ఓకే, రైట్. ఎందుకంటే ఇది ఎలా డిఫరెంట్ మీ పీపుల్స్ మధ్యలో
అవును
వర్క్
అవును
అవుతున్నప్పుడు
అవును
ఎలా
అవును.
అది ఇది అవుతుందని.
ఉమ్,
ఎందుకంటే కంపెనీలో రియల్ టైంలో మనం అలానే వర్క్ చేస్తాం కదా.
అవును. యాక్చువల్ గా ఒక రిపాజిటరీ క్రియేట్ చేసి, రిపాజిటరీ చెప్పలేదు కదా మీకు ఇంకా. సరే, ఏదో ఒక రిపాజిటరీ నుంచి నేను అప్లై చేస్తాను, సేమ్ రిపాజిటరీ నుంచి నువ్వు కూడా అప్లై చేస్తావు డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకొని.
చూద్దాం.
ఓకే, సేమ్ యాక్సెస్ కి, సీక్రెట్ కి ఉపయోగించి. లెట్స్ సీ టుమారో హౌ ఇట్
షూర్
విల్
షూర్
వర్క్స్.
ఓకే. ఓకే బ్రో,
ఓకే,
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.